Swapon failed invalid argument on a Linux system with Btrfs file system. What's wrong with this sequence of operation, running on a Debian SWI system with a Btrfs file system? My file system is
This bug report leads to this discussion. So invalid argument should be read as your file system do not support swap file. As posted by Malat.
In Linux kernel 5.0.0, Btrfs natively supports swap file now. You must set it as no cow. Here's some information from kernel.org, this URL. From kernel 5.0 plus Btrfs have native swap file support, but with some limitations. Swap file must be fully allocated as no cow with no compression on one device. This link shows how to do it, this URL. Do not try it in Linux and LT 4.21. Warning, Btrfs on Linux kernel before version 5.0 does not support swap files. Failure to heed this warning may result in file system corruption. While a swap file may be used on Btrfs when mounted through a loop device, this will result in severely degraded swap performance.
I got the cryptic error now after an unclean shutdown. The only solution was to delete the old swap file and recreate it. As on Btrfs, there are certain restrictions, for example copy on write has to be disabled. I recommend to follow the steps on the Arch wiki. I copied the steps to create a 512 meters swap, but please read their documentation before executing. Now, swapon/swap file should succeed. If not, ensure that the kernel is at least 5.0, as his earlier kernel swap files are not supported in Btrfs, source, Btrfs FAQ. From kernel 5.0 plus Btrfs have native swap file support, but with some limitations. Swap file must be fully allocated as no cow with no compression on one device. For kernels before 5.0, swap files are not supported. Just making a file no cow does not help. Swap file support relies on one function that Btrfs intentionally does not implement due to potential corruptions. The swap implementation used to rely on some assumptions which may not hold in Btrfs, like block numbers in the swap file, while Btrfs has a different block number mapping in case of multiple devices. There is a new API that could be used to port swap to Btrfs. For more details, have a look at project ideas #swap file support.
Since version 6.1 it has become easier to create a swap file in Btrfs. More in the Btrfs documentation.
If you want some support, please